Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Google Cloud Vice President of Professional Services, Jason Martin, and Pluralsight Head of Practices, Mariah Hay.
So good to see you, Jason. I am so excited for you guys to get to know Jason today. He's had an incredibly interesting career, and we were just joking backstage, and he said, you know, he got his degree in artificial intelligence from Stanford and then didn't use it for 20 years. But in between then and now, he's done some really incredible things. He has served in executive roles in lots of different Silicon Valley startups that range from pure infrastructure to software and internet services. He helped lead 2 of these startups through IPOs, and the largest was VMware. But I'll let Jason tell you a little bit about what he's doing at Google Cloud now.
Thank you, Mariah. First of all, I'm thrilled to be here. Wow, what a difference a year makes. Last year, I was in the audience. My boss's boss, Thomas Curran, was on stage representing another company, and we were just starting to talk with Pluralsight about how we work together. So super excited to see what the year's become. So my role at Google Cloud, I run professional services, basically work with our largest customers implementing Google technologies with our consulting and TAM organizations, but I also run learning services, which we really take what we're learning at those biggest customers and try to scale it through our learning initiatives, and that's basically the philosophy. So again, super excited to be here. Thank you.
Oh, I love it. Well, I'm going to dive right in. With your work with customers driving Google Cloud adoption, what has been the most difficult customer challenge, and how have you addressed that?
Bar none, the biggest challenge for us is really the IT skills gap. And let me just tell you a little story with some history, personal history, that kind of highlights this. So, you know, I basically had a very similar role at VMware last decade, running consulting, training, TAMs, and you know, that was pretty disruptive to traditional IT shops, but that was just the compute layer. You look at cloud, it's pretty much every layer of the IT stack: compute, storage, networking, the data layer, application, you know, mobile app development, advanced technologies like machine learning. So pretty much every layer of the IT stack changes, and all of your operations change, right? In the cloud, you know, we as a vendor have a shared operations with our customers. So that provides tremendous strain on the skills that our customers have and the gap they have. And you know, this is borne out in pretty much every conversation I have with CIOs, with the research analysts, our own surveys. You know, it's what's preventing them from adopting more quickly. So how are we addressing that? Honestly, first of all, it starts with our content strategy. You know, most of our content, which works very well with Pluralsight, is based on the roles we see necessary to adopt cloud, whether that's, you know, a network engineer, a storage engineer, a data engineer, a machine learning engineer, security engineers. You know, all these roles are needed when we go out and deploy, you know, new projects at a company. So we've taken all the knowledge around those roles, made them available in our curriculum, and then we've tried to meet the developer where they're at and the IT practitioner. So that means making all of our content available across every modality. You know, we have a month-long machine learning class that we train people on that come, you know, our largest customers come to Google. Well, the content that we've developed there, we're making available on all our platforms. And so meeting the developer where they're at is super important to us, and that's why we partner with Pluralsight. You know, when we first started talking to you, one of the things that was exciting was, you know, your relationships with over 70% of the enterprise customers, and you know, just making it easy for our joint customers to access the knowledge they need when they need it was a key driver.
Those are great points. You know, I'm curious, what does a cloud-first mature organization really look like, and how are these organizations enabling their technologists to be successful?
So, I mean, obviously, quite simply, you know, cloud-native companies look a lot like Google and a lot like Facebook and Uber and companies in the Valley like that. And you know, what they have is they have developers that are innovating quickly, releasing code, you know, sometimes daily, multiple times a day. They have access to infrastructure that scales as much as they need it to globally. They have access to technologies that are fully self-managed, that have, you know, security and reliability built in at every layer of the application stack. And they have access to advanced technologies like machine learning, tensor processing units, which is our silicon to speed up machine learning. They have access to things like BigQuery and Spanner. For those of you who haven't heard those terms before, Spanners are our globally in sync database that allows developers to not have to worry about replicating data globally, keeping it in sync and reliable. So that's what they have. Unfortunately for the enterprise, most of them don't know how to utilize that, right? So they're on this journey from adopting some of those technologies. And really what we've seen with them is it's important to really address that learning piece is the most important piece. So we're really focused on training them up and skilling them on advanced technologies, but also on the stuff we've learned at Google on how to operate technology at scale. Our CRE and SRE principles around DevOps is something super important to our customers.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely a hot topic right now too. I'm kind of curious, why do you think customers are choosing Google Cloud?
As I mentioned, access clearly to those advanced technologies, I think, is something that's driving them. Access to our network, which is one of the largest networks globally. So we have a lot of people that have customers that are in every country, and they want to be able to make sure the latency between those customers and their applications are to a minimum. So there's always technology choices, but honestly, I think the biggest thing is around digital transformation. And you heard Bonita talk about this earlier. We have customers that are worried about being disrupted by the next startup in Silicon Valley, whether it's Airbnb or Uber or someone like that. But one of the things our customers have is they have a lot of knowledge and a lot of data and a lot of expertise they built up. So being able to tap into that is I think what they're looking at, and they're partnering with us to do that and learn some of the stuff we've learned over the last 20 years running a cloud at scale.
Oh, definitely. Well, I think everybody's in the same boat, whether you're trying to get up to speed or stay on top. It's the same for everyone. And with that, I think Google Cloud is really gaining a whole lot of momentum. And we heard about Anthos at Pluralsight Live in London, your hybrid cloud solution. And on the last earnings call, that Google Cloud had reached $8 billion in annual revenue rate. Can you tell us more about this market momentum?
Yeah, first of all, it's super exciting to see Sundar and Ruth announce that, because we haven't really shared much public data on our growth, and obviously that kind of surprised a lot of people, I think. So Anthos is really picking up steam. It's really exciting in a lot of the heavily regulated industries, so financial services, healthcare, where they want to run workloads on-prem, but unlock the power of cloud, and then ultimately be able to share some of that workload with the cloud and multi-cloud where they can. So that's been exciting to see. And again, the number one thing I think we're seeing is folks driving digital transformation. I was just down with McKesson last month. It's a 180-year-old company, I think, that's in a heavily regulated industry, healthcare, and they're adopting us for the traditional lift and shift, get out of the data center, save some money. But honestly, what's driving it more than anything is speed of innovation, and they're trying to really change the way their culture uses cloud to meet their customers' demands, and again, unlock some of the value of the data they've been collecting for all these years. So that's exciting to see.
Definitely. So we're thrilled, and I'm personally thrilled about our partnership with Google Cloud here at Pluralsight. Can you tell us about what you see the future of this relationship being?
Well, we're still early. As I said last year, I was in the audience, and we hadn't even really talked about what this relationship would look like. But we've got tremendous momentum. I think we have over 15 courses now live on Pluralsight. We have our first Google Cloud Skill IQ that we've launched. Again, our philosophy around roles and skills absolutely marries up with Pluralsight's visions. But there's a lot more to do. We have over 375 labs on our Quick Labs platform that allows developers to just get in and try stuff when they need to. So we want to make that available to all of our mutual customers. And we've done a lot of work to try to automate, how our two companies work together. Because just like developers releasing code daily, we're updating curriculum and content quite often, and we want to make sure we've automated that so we're able to push the latest and greatest to Pluralsight. So, super excited about seeing what we can do together to really enable digital and cloud skills at scale globally. Because the developers and the companies we're working with are pretty much everywhere. So I'm super excited to see where this goes.
Oh, I love it. Well, Jason, thank you so much for coming and being here and partnering with us and giving us a peek into Google Cloud. Let's give Jason a hand.
Thank you, Mariah.
Yeah.